Welcome. This video is over volume of rectangular prism. Before we do that, let's talk about our number routine. Find the area. This polygon is the shape of a trapezoid. So the area formula for trapezoid is 1/2 times the base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So I like to highlight things to help me understand this. So base 1 is right here. Base 2 is here. So in green, I'm going to highlight the height, which is 4. Do I need 7 and 5? No, those are the slants. I'm gonna take my pen right now and scratch both of these out. They are unnecessary information. So let's try to fill this out, this formula. So 1/2. Let's substitute the B1 and B2 with the numbers. 8 plus 6. And let's substitute the height with 4. So 8 plus 6 is 14. So we need to find half of the basis. What is half of 14? 7. 7 times 4 is 28 units squared. Or you could do 14 times 4 is 56. Half of 56 is 28. Or you could do half of 4 is 2. 2 times 14 is 28. So this is a 2017 fifth grade STAR question over volume. So last year you did learn volume. In sixth grade, we learned volume as well, but we use rational numbers like decimals and fractions to find volume. So let's look at number 3. Emily has a box shaped like a rectangular prism that is full of sugar cubes. Each sugar cube has a volume of 1 cubic centimeter. That means this has a volume of 1. The top layer has a width of 6 and a length of 11. So width of 6 and a length of 11. There are 3 layers of sugar cube. How many sugar cubes are in the box? So that means there are 3 layers. So that means the height is 3. So how would you find the volume? Last year, you were given the formula V equal capital BH, and also you were given length times width times height. So in 6th grade, we do not use LWH. We use something called a capital B. But if you would like to use what you did 5th grade, so the length is 11, the width is 6, the height is 3, 11 times 6 times 3. So the volume is 11 times 6 times 3. 11 times 6 is 66. 66 times 3, 18 carried to 1, is 198 cubic centimeters. So 198 cubic centimeters. So what do we learn in 6th grade? So do you see this big B? The big B is the base, the bottom of the area of the base, the bottom of the box. What shape do you see on the very bottom of the box? It's a rectangle. So I want you to draw a rectangle here so you know that you need to find what is the area of this rectangle. Then you times the height. So what is the area of this rectangle? 66. Then you're going to multiply it by its height of 3, and that's where you get 198. And that is what we're going to learn today. So today you're going to be practicing given a paperclip box. You're going to tell me, what do you notice about the base of this rectangular prism? It is a rectangle. What is this polygon called? How do you find the area of a rectangle? You multiply the base and the height, or length times the width. Then you're going to estimate how many number cubes will fit into this box. You are estimating volume. So we'll ask different tables or answers. To find the volume of a rectangular prism, you multiply. In 5th grade, you multiply length times width times height. So elementary school. We don't do that in 6th grade. We use capital V, which is volume. Capital V means you're going to multiply things. Capital B means you're going to multiply things, and the height. So if you look at this picture, what shape do you see on the bottom of this? A rectangle. So we draw a rectangle here. So we know that that is a rectangle. So how do you find the area of a rectangle? You multiply this, the length, times the width. And I don't have my ruler with me, so I don't really know what it is. Then you're going to multiply it by the height of this. And so here are the answers. So the area of the Base is 7.1 times 4.7, then times 2.4. So it holds about 80 cubes. So 7.1 times 4.7 times 2.4 is about 80. And that is what we're going to be learning today. So right here, you're given a math formula called capital V equal capital BH. So capital B telling you what is the area of the base. What shape do you see? And since we are talking about rectangular prism, we draw a rectangle around it. So let's practice some questions. Highlight, oh, so you know what? I'm going to have to get smaller. Highlight the area of one base in pink. So let me take out my highlighter in pink and highlight this. What is this polygon called? It is called a rectangle. How do you find the area of this rectangle? So this is called a rectangle. How do you find the area? You multiply base times height, or length times width. Now highlight the height in green. So let's go back in color again. So this is the base, this is the height. Whoops. So let's draw a rectangle around this. So how do you find the area of this rectangle? You multiply the base and the height, or 5 times 2 is 10. So the area, the big B, is 10. Then what is the height of this? 6. So the volume, or how much it holds inside, the capacity of it, is 60 cubic inches. Let's practice our second question. Highlight the base in pink. What shape do you see here? I see a rectangle. How do you find the area of this rectangle? You multiply the base and the height. Or some you could say length times width. It means the same thing. Now highlight the height in green. So let's go back and do it here. Oops, this is green. Let's take this color, highlight this in green, and highlight this green. So let's go back and get my pen. So the big bottom, you can say the big bottom, the area of the base. What shape do you see? A rectangle. So draw a rectangle around it. So you know that's a rectangle. So this rectangle, how do you find the area of this rectangle? You multiply the base times the height. Do you know another way to say 4.5? What decimal is 4.5? 4.5 times 2. And what is 4.5 times 2? It's 10. Carry the 1 is 9. One number behind the decimal, so move it 1. So it's 9. So the area of the bottom is 9. The area of the base. Times the height, 6.5. So if you multiply 9 times 6.5, what do you get? 9 times 5 is 45, carry the 4. 9 times 6 is 54, plus 4 is 58. Move the decimal 1 over. So the volume is 58.4 cubic inches. And that is how you find volume. You multiply the big B times the height. Tomorrow, in the next lesson, we're going to be learning what if you know the volume and you're missing the height? Could you still find the height from that? If you know the area of this and you know the height, volume, how can you find the height? So let's practice some practice questions. So how would you, what happened there? How would you find the volume of this one? We multiply the big B, 3 by 2 by 3. Let's see, where would it be? Oh, I think it's this one. And what is 3 times 3 times 2? 3 times 3 is 9 times 2 is 18. Oh, right there. Next one, the bottom is 8 times 1 is 8. The height is 1. 8 times 1. No, 8 times 1. Oh, it's 8. But it would be right here. And this one, 3 times 1 times 2, right here. So the bottom is 3 times the height of 2 is 6. This one, 8 times 8 times 1. How can I rewrite that? Using exponents right here. 8 times 8 is 64 times the height of 1 is 64. And 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 to the power of 3. 2 times 2 is 4 times the height is 8. And the last thing is, if we have time, we will do this lesson, or we will skip the other lesson. So let me play this video. Do, 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 do. So you are going to help David build a chest with a that has a volume of 70 cubic inches. Using your Unifix cubes, build this chest. So what would the dimensions be if you build this chest? So it could be, oh, here is, oh, let me get a pen. So we know it has to equal 72. So this could be 12 by 3. So the area is 36, and what would the height be? 12 times 3 is 36. This could be 2. So that could be the test. 12 times 3 times 2 is 36 times 2 is 72. All right. Thank you for this lesson.